I watched one of the coolest videos on YouTube. It was a video talking about John D. Rockefeller. Yes, Rockefeller. And it was talking about how much of an impact he made as far as a tycoon, right? A business tycoon. Now, you guys know Rockefeller was in oil and he had Standard Oil. That was his bread and butter, was Standard Oil. But obviously he made his money doing a whole lot of other things. Namely, vertical integration, which is basically owning every aspect of a business. Think from the bottom, the supply chain, all the way to the finished product, right? Cutting out the middleman, right? And horizontal as well. So he not only managed getting the product from start to finish to you, but also managing any of the competition that could be in the way. And it got me thinking about companies like Amazon, and recently what we just found out, Netflix acquiring or is going to be acquiring Warner, right? I even got my email saying, welcoming Warner Brothers to Netflix. It says, we recently announced that Netflix will acquire Warner Brothers, including its film and television studios, HBO Max and HBO. Guys, guess what? I just recently canceled my Netflix account because I felt like, there's nothing really on there that's really great that I want to see. A lot of the shows I like are on HBO, and they're doing exactly what the template is for companies to do when they want to become monopolies, so to speak, right? You start to own everything, and that is how you become the best of the best. But then it got me thinking about consolidation in that sense, right? What happens when you consolidate everything and now you've only got maybe 2 or 3 brands to choose from? And I know there's this guy that's on this app called Cancel This Clothing or something like that, or his name is Ian. He's on Twitter and other places, but he always talks about this. I mean, I remember watching his videos and he would go to a supermarket and show the shelf and show that all the shampoo brands, at least 60% of them were under one umbrella, right? So when you think of stuff like that, when you think of this consolidation of choice, then there's only a few people in the world that own any and everything. What happens to the rest? So you're taking away competition and you're driving this idea of we know what's best for you. And so now you're leaving your entire life into the hands of a few people at the top. I think that there's an argument to be made, though. Some people will say consolidation is good because now look at this. I get HBO, whoopee. I don't have to pay for 2 different things, but that's not usually how it works. What happens at the end of the day, and I know this from working and knowing about brands and how they work, is once these people, these rich billionaires get this consolidation of power, they don't pass on, they don't trickle it down to anyone. They don't say, oh, well, now we can bring the cost down. Usually what happens is the cost goes up and the product becomes worse. But you can go ahead and drop your thoughts and comments about this. But I would watch this video, and I'll try to put the link in my description because it's a really great, quick video and a really good breakdown of vertical integration.